Hello, beautiful viewers. Tom Thaw throughout the cosmos, prepared to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting, stellar, captivating unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What items will I be unboxing? What items will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, let me elicit the box. What tangible items are encompassed inside this hefty box? Well, let me demystify and answer that inquiry right here, right now. It will take me billions of picoseconds to penetrate through the box, so bear with me. I'm going to leverage this nifty pair of scissors to puncture a hole in the box. Thus allow the unboxing to commence. Now that I've rendered an aperture in the box, I can expand it and subsequently extract the items from the box. This is arduous. I am feeble. I am dainty. I lack physical prowess. Alrighty, we have an assortment of action figures inside the Ravage box. These figurines are derived from the He-Man Masters of the Universe 200X series. Here's Man-at-Arms. He's quite a stoic, noble warrior. In conjunction with that heroic master, we have Ram Man, who's an audacious warrior. He has a temerity to charge into the fray of battle without hesitation. He has no compunction about ramming his foes amid thwart and evil. We have Beastman. He can utilize his nifty whip. Next we have another heroic master of the universe who has the capability to change his face. I'm unsure what his moniker is. I can look it up. His name is Man-E-Faces. That's an unusual name. We have another novel figurine known by the moniker of Mecha-Neck. He can stretch his neck, and he can travel into the yonder. How? He's able to leverage his neck to trek into uncharted territory. So here he is. We have a snake warrior. He's likely a sadistic, malicious character. Perhaps he hails from Snake Mountain. I do not know. His origin is an enigma. To me, at least. I'm not well acclimated with that particular character's lore. Of course, we have a sorceress. Her name is Evil-Lyn. And then we have Merman. We have Tila, the daughter of Man-at-Arms. Then we have Skeletor, the notorious leader of the Evil Masters. We have the illustrious, valiant, revered Roboto, ready to aid his comrades in a heartbeat. Of course, we have Whiplash, who's a devious monster. Next we have another character, who's also sadistic. His name is Trapjaw. He has an artillery of weapons at his disposal. We have He-Man, utilizing battle armor to fortify and to ramp up his defenses. In conjunction with having He-Man, we also have Skyclone, who does not leverage body armor to augment his defensive capabilities. He's a nimble, agile warrior who has dexterity and divine capabilities. We have Prince Adam, who's quite feeble. Next we have Buzz-Off, who hails from a bee colony. Next we have Zodak, or the Zodak, who's a pivotal character in the series. Another snake warrior. We have He-Man equipped with a harness, lacking his battle armor breastplate. Weapons for the characters. These are their armaments. We have this character who could ascend to great heights, who's known by the moniker of maybe Stratos, although I'm unsure. I doubt a Skyclone or Cyclone. It was most likely Stratos. I'm just going to make the arbitrary assumption that his name is Stratos. Sorry about that, my chair is squeaking. My chair is antiquated and dilapidated. It's past its prime. It's on the cusp of breaking. I'll utilize it until it's fully worn out. Next we have the general of the Snakeman army. And then we have Two-Face. Or Too Bad. Sorry about the blunder. So, those are the characters that were engulfed in bubble wrap. This box is now devoid of its contents and can be relegated to the trash. So, am I appeased with this lot? Am I gratified with this purchase and decision? I am content with this purchase and decision. I spent a grand total of $241 to procure these figurines. I used to own about half of them in pristine condition. However, I was unable to retain them when I could not afford to house them in a storage unit, which caused me to be forced to relinquish my prodigious action figure collection. But that's a story for another time. So now I own them. They're not consigned to boxes. They're all open. I should be able to perpetually retain them since they do not take up a copious amount of square footage. But even though I paid nearly $12 per figure, or closer to $11 for the 23 figures, I think that this lot warranted the asking price. The seller fortunately accepted my offer. I outbidded the prospective buyer by $1 and reaped the lot. Now I received $19 in eBay bucks post procuring these items, and my credit card affords me a 2% cashback rebate. So really, the money that I received post this purchase helps me defray future expenses. This purchase was unnecessary. I'm an avid He-Man fan. I haven't witnessed the series in years. However, that does not mean that I'm not fond of the action figures. I relish watching the He-Man 2003 anime, and I would love to be able to flaunt the He-Man figurines on my shelf. These figurines are the He-Man Masters of the Universe 200X figurines. They're not derived from the 1980s He-Man action figure line. These figurines were produced by Mattel. They were likely sculpted by the Four Horsemen Studios Corporation. So I love these figurines. I love their aesthetics. I love their paint applications. I love their shadings. I love their hues. I love their textures. I love that they're durable. They do not seem to be shoddy. I love that they have merit in all facets. I have no qualms about this purchase and decision. I would have gladly implemented the same purchase and decision in the pending years if I did not own these action figures. Of course, it's quite a burden to be indebted by an additional $241, but as long as I just incessantly work, I should be able to pay off this debt and hopefully one day be able to rebuild my action figure collection that I could not retain because I could not afford to house them in a storage unit amid being a full-time student. Presently, I'm a full-time doctoral student. I've been in school my entire life. It's been a burden. It's been a hassle. It's been a constraint. It's been an impediment towards pursuing my endeavors. But If you want, if you want, well, I'm just contemplating about the most effective way to phrase this subsequent thought. Despite the deleterious effect being a full-time doctoral student can have against your earnings in the short haul, you will need to earn a doctorate if you want to gain the credentials to be eligible to pursue a niche job. So it is ridiculous, in my opinion, that the barriers to entry are so high, and that the mandatory requirements are unprecedented in contrast to job opportunities in the past. However, if you want to be employed and abstain from being self-employed, then you need to follow the criteria of the prospective employer. So if you want to be employed to a prospective employer, then you have to fulfill their demands and appease them if they impose that their job applicants possess a doctorate just to be eligible to apply for a position teaching undergraduate or graduate courses in a specific niche field, and you have to fulfill the requirements just to be eligible to apply for a job. But that's not an efficient way to be able to reap revenue in the short haul. I'd prefer to be self-employed, but yet again, it's not always a viable career opportunity, which is why you may need to resort to working for someone else and pursue your business endeavors on the side. But I've done ranting and raving about the ludicrous requirements behind certain prospective job opportunities. These figurines are meritorious. They're quite remarkable. They're extraordinary. I love gazing upon them. Will you take a gander at these figurines, or will you neglect to? I do not know. So, in hindsight, I'm gratified about this purchase and decision. I'm going to display these figurines and equip them with their corresponding weapons. I want to utilize what I have. I do not want my hunks of plastic to be consigned to a storage unit, so I utilize my He-Man figures this time, even though I neglected to years ago, which caused me to succumb to being forced to relinquishing all of them when I could not afford a storage unit to house my mint and card action figures within. I used to possess likely at least 1,000 action figures. My collection has contracted, but hopefully I'll be able to acquire all these figurines that I lost once more, because this time I'll open them so they do not need to be relegated to a storage unit, and when I acquire them in the future, I'll seize the opportunity to work full-time rather than building up my collection amid being a full-time student. So being a student is an impediment towards being able to earn revenue in the short haul. However, if you can finish school, earn your terminal degrees, and pursue a job full time, then you should be able to afford to finance a storage unit perpetually, as long as your time is not consumed with schoolwork. So I'm done pontificating, I'm done ranting and raving. It is what it is. Sometimes we need to make sacrifices in the short haul, or in this case, nearly 3 decades, just to get ahead in the long haul. So I'm glad that I have these figurines once again. I have nearly a complete set. I used to possess Mossman, I like him. I want to acquire Battlecat and Panther, and also Fisto and Orca from the series. I've never owned Fisto, but maybe one day I will. So I love these figurines. I'm done reiterating myself. This video is a bit redundant, but I'm just infatuated with these figurines. I'm enamored of action figures, and I'll spawn a video in the near future flaunting my updated action figure collection with the recent additions to my collection. So I hope that you found this video to be enthralling and insightful. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.